Hey, friend, if you're suddenly forgetting words or losing focus or emotionally overwhelmed and thinking, wait, do I have ADHD? Or is this just perimenopause? You're not alone. So many women in their 40s and 50s are asking this same question. And while the symptoms can look so similar, there's more to the story. Today, we're going to break it down. Not just how ADHD and perimenopause overlap, but how they're different, and most importantly, how to tell if ADHD has actually been there all along, just hidden. This isn't about hormones. This is about the life you've been living underneath the surface. Let's dive in. So let's start here. ADHD and perimenopause can absolutely look similar on the outside. Brain fog, irritability, emotional ups and downs, forgetfulness, low motivation, mood swings, sleep issues both impact your executive functioning and emotional regulation. So it's no wonder with all of this that there's confusion. But the biggest difference, ADHD is neurodevelopmental. It is evident in childhood. Perimenopause is hormonal. It typically begins in your 40s or 50s. So, to really understand what's going on now, we need to take a look back. So, here's where things get tricky because many women with ADHD weren't diagnosed in childhood. Why? Because we were masking, because we were good girls, because we flew under the radar, and because it was, and in a lot of cases still is, looked at like a hyperactive boy disorder. So if you're wondering whether this is new for you, here are some signs that ADHD was likely there all along, just hidden. You were the daydreamer. You spaced out in class, got lost in thought, or read the same paragraph like 5 or 10 times to even take it in. You are sensitive and were as a child. Noise, tags, people's moods, it all felt like a lot, but you didn't know why. You had big emotions. Maybe you were too much, or maybe you stuffed it down, but it came out later. You procrastinated. Oh, I remember this, but still pulled it off. You did homework last minute, and in my case, even a 20-page paper, but you still got A's, so no one noticed. You were too talkative with teachers or adults saying it like it was a criticism, or they told you to stop interrupting. You were organized, but only under pressure and where people could see. You had systems that worked just enough and worked for you, but the structure always felt kind of fragile. And there were messy zones. Even if your room looked tidy or your desk at school, there was something, a chaotic locker, the disaster under your bed, a closet you didn't let people open. You had a rich inner world, constant inner dialogue, fantasy, planning, overthinking. You masked like a champ. You figured out how to please teachers, keep friends, and stay out of trouble, often at the cost of your authentic self. And here's the kicker, if ADHD was present all along, perimenopause doesn't cause it. It just pulls off the mask. When estrogen dips with perimenopause, it impacts dopamine, which ADHD brains already struggle to regulate. So if you've been holding it all together your whole life, maybe without even knowing it, this shift can feel like everything's falling apart. But it's not the beginning of ADHD, it's the unmasking of it. So now let's flip it. What if you didn't have any of those in childhood? Not that you had to have them all, but what if you didn't have any of them? Here are signs that the changes you're experiencing may be more hormone driven than neurodivergent. The brain fog and forgetfulness are brand new and weren't present earlier in life. You were pretty consistent with tasks, focus, and routines until very recently. Emotional shifts feel cyclical or tied to your cycle or disappearing cycle. And what I do want to say about that is with ADHD, there's a strong link to PMDD. So sometimes with ADHD, you will have noticed that cyclical nature with your symptoms getting worse with your menstrual cycle, but it would have been there since your first period. You're suddenly struggling with sleep, anxiety, or physical changes like weight gain, hot flashes, or joint pain. These changes happened gradually in your 40s or 50s, not all of your life. Perimenopause can be incredibly disruptive and it can mimic ADHD, and it also can make ADHD symptoms worse. But if this is a recent shift and your childhood doesn't show any of those signs of executive dysfunction, it may not be ADHD. It may be hormones. And if you're like, could it be both? Well, yeah, of course. ADHD women go through perimenopause too. So if this video is lighting something up for you, like, oh, maybe I've been ADHD all along, I want you to know you're not too late. You're not broken and you're not imagining it. The key now is to stop trying to fix yourself and shaming yourself along the way and start understanding your brain and your body. Here's what I recommend. Track your symptoms for a bit. See what's cyclical, see what's consistent. Get curious about your childhood. Reflect on the signs I shared earlier. Talk to a provider who specializes in perimenopause and menopause. Not all doctors, including many OBGYNs, are fully trained in perimenopause and menopause care. So be intentional, be selective with the doctor you find. Ask about their background. Look for someone with hormone expertise who also understands ADHD if possible. And most importantly, start using ADHD friendly strategies that work with your brain, not against it. And I'll tell you, I've got all kinds of videos that you're welcome to watch for some of those ideas. Another way to start is my 28-day nervous system regulation challenge for ADHDers. It'll help you regulate your emotions in your nervous system, focus your energy, finally start to feel grounded again, and feel more motivated, even if your hormones are doing somersaults. So is it ADHD or perimenopause? Maybe it's one, maybe it's both. But whatever it is, you deserve to understand what's really going on and get support that honors your whole story. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming videos like this, and leave a comment if this hit home. I'd love to hear what's coming up for you. You're not alone, and no, you're not losing it. You're uncovering it, and that's where the healing begins. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.